Good morning, YouTube. How we all doing today? This would be update number 5 of the double main install. We're doing some major testing today before we glue stuff down, and we'll get into what I've done. Everything seems to be playing well with each other. It's been a lot of work to do. And like I said, I wish I would have done this to begin with. I probably should have, but we're going to start leveling this out, gluing this stuff down. But before I do anything, I want to make sure everything is working as it should. We don't have any decouplings, any rollovers, or anything like that. We do have a spot over by the, I would call it a hyper grade. It's a 2% at first, and then it jumps up probably about 0.5% real quick. I didn't really like doing that, but I really didn't have any option. But everything seems to be pulling through pretty good. I do have some, it disconnects back over there a little bit, right on this turn right here, it disconnects. So it's a leveling issue. It's not quite level. I've got to clean some track. I've got a lot of stuff to get done, but everything seems to be playing well with each other. The big boy is not freaking out, and I'll probably switch them over and run the big boy on the inner track, and then the Colt train on the outer track to see how it goes. But I'm super excited. This is coming together very well. As you can tell, my Paragon 3s don't like that dirty track. I love that because it gives it a scenic look. I had to move this telephone pole right here because it was in the center, and when that big boy articulates, he kind of hits it a little bit. I had to make some minor adjustments right back here. You can tell when the cars get there, it gets awful close right there in the center. But we made some adjustments on that. Everything is coming together very well. I'm very pleased. It was a little bit tricky. I didn't know if it was going to work at first. That inner track back there. But it's working great. Putting that over here, right about that curve. I usually have a detachment, and that's my fault, not the train, because right about there, you focus on that back car. A lot of times, right in that curve, the coupler's higher on the locomotive than the car at times. So I've remedied that a little bit. And I got some tractor clean over there. It's turning out very well. I'm very pleased with it. This section over here, I ended up messing up on my order. The abutments were a double, not a single, and I actually ordered 2 of those and 2 of these. So that was my script, but I'm going to try to turn that into something different. I know it's kind of odd to have a turnout on a decline, but what I'm going to do is terminate that line, make it look like it's either an old bridge. I thought about putting a turnout in there, but again, I can't make it fit with the wall. It swings out too wide. I probably could make some more adjustments, but really, honestly, I'm going to use it to store additional cars. Again, I don't have a rail yard, so I've got to put them in places. So I'm going to put a piece that, something that keeps it from rolling off, a stop of some sort. Kind of probably like I made that one out of this one here, out of just some modeling parts. I'll probably make something like that where it just stops the cars because they're going to roll downhill or this way. So the goal is to have that long enough where the longer cars which is the most amount of weight is on that end of it. And then I'll just have them sitting here where they don't go careening off down this direction. So I've got to play with that. But we've done some adjustments to the curve, S-curves. We needed to make a long straightaway because at times the big boy seemed to be handling all right, but when you're going from one curve into the next, it ain't happening. So I adjusted that, trimmed my foam, got all that kind of glued down, and then we come back to where we connect right there. So this is a lot longer elevation, and it was easier to make that happen. The one over in the back, not so much, and that's because of the mountain and how it was designed. But I think I'm just moving my refinery back here because I want to give it some depth. It really made it look pretty good back there. So I also got some new additions too. I've got my Trainworks N-scale semi trucks, cab overs, because I would assume maybe if you wanted to, some of those are still viable today, but it was probably 90s when they quit doing that. But I really enjoy those trucks, man. They are so detailed. I don't know if I can get in there tight enough, but you can lift the cab up. Let's see if I can do it on this one. No. But you can lift the cab up and you can see the engine, you can see the steering wheel, all that stuff. These things are just amazing, amazing. I have another one back over on this side of the layout, and that brings me to vehicles. So I was at a rummage sale one day, and here's the other one. I still got to paint the trailer and all that stuff, but oh man, it's just so. See if I can lift it. There's the hood. You can lift the hood up. You see the engine. I mean, are they expensive? Yeah, but I'd pay that all day long because that's just a gorgeous little model. That being said, I was at a rummage sale, and I don't know if some of y'all remember the micro machines from like the 80s and late 80s and stuff. They almost are the correct scale. I bought a whole bunch of these, or I actually got them for free. A whole bunch of these, so I'm actually adding little vehicles, because if you compare that dump truck to that actual N-scale car, it's really not that much different. And if you, let's say you take this, you compare that truck to that truck, the size is about the same. Now, they do look like a kid's toy. Let's be honest. So I don't like the little things on the back, which I'll probably snip them off. Same on those. I might leave those, but on these Jeeps and stuff, I might cut them off. I'm gonna weather them and see what happens. And I did an excavator. It may not be in the right scene, but I created a crash scene right here with police and a tow truck and all that, and an ambulance. We got a rolled over car. So I'm gonna weather them, and I did weather. Where's he at? Let's bring you back over here. I did weather one of the micro machines here. I threw a little powder on it to make it look dirty. Let's see if I can zoom in. It's looking better. It needs more. Is it right for that application? Maybe not. Who knows? But it tones down the childish look, and like the little hoses on there, I'm probably going to paint those. The hydraulic cylinders. I work on heavy equipment, so some of the details are not actually correct. I'd like to throw a little paint on them. That being said, these over here, I think if I threw a little weathering on them, we could make them look fairly correct. And What I typically do on these to swap the load is I got these little magnets from Amazon, and I'll glue it to the bottom of it, and then it'll stick on there. So I have, let me pull them out of the way. I made some pipe and I couldn't secure it correctly. So what I did was, it sticks on there. It's not coming off. As a matter of fact, you lift the car up before you take that off. So I'm gonna stick these little magnets on the bottom of these where they don't come sliding off and cause a collision. That being said, the same magnets, there's a north and a south pole. You can make that coupler open. See that? Let me try to focus on this a little bit. You can make that coupler open with them. It works really well on Bachmann, not so much on the other ones. I run a lot of Bachmann cars because they just pull smoother and everything. But if you see that, you can decouple right there. It's the same over here. See how it opened up? I just found the north and south pole, split them up, and then glued it down. And if you're not careful, like this one has 2 magnets on it, I mean, it can actually stop a train and make it do some weird stuff. So that one's got 1 set. This has got double, because if I'm coming in here unhooking this, I want to make sure it unhooks. And I'm going slow anyway, so it doesn't do anything weird. If you have that on a main line like this used to be, I had 4 of them there. I took them out because every time I go across it, the locomotive would freak out. So, and that's a main line. But that is a cheap alternative. You can buy like 200 of these things for like 10 bucks, 15 bucks. And you don't have to buy the decouplers, and you can put it in anywhere you want on your track. If you just back in slow, get decouples and you just pull away. I don't even know if I could do this right now. Let's see if I can make it happen. It's a little tricky. See, it doesn't work all the time. And it depends on the car too. Some cars work better than others decoupling. See how that worked? If you pull straight through, it pulls it out. Back up, pull it away, so you can leave your cars there. Come back in, hook up, pull right on out. Works really well, man. That's just a little tip and trick that y'all can use, because sometimes I like to have no hands operations. And it's a little bit, you got to play with it. You got to figure it out. My Kato cars, that doesn't work. You've got to separate them. That's a little trick on that. But again, we've got to glue this down and level it. And I'm literally just want to test and make sure everything's happy before I do anything. I've got to glue the abutments in. I've got to clean that, take that turnout out, clean the crap off of it. And so it doesn't do what it's about to do. See it? Even my Paragon 4 didn't like it. So obviously that turnout is got some issues, so we're going to fix that. But I know my modeling room is a mess, and I don't like it that way. We've got some, we definitely have to put some edges on here. The plexiglass is so expensive right now. I think temporarily I'm going to put take another 1x and put it on there, and just in case, man. Especially like right here. That's way too close for comfort. Just between you and I. See, that's not even straight. So I don't like that. You can tell that's not. It's got a kink in it. But these are the issues you gotta go through. That's better. But I'm gonna put a board right through here, and then I'll also do the same right there until I get some plexiglass and to cover this, because I just can't afford a locomotive coming off of that. This scene right here. If y'all know, I think it would be cool to add a nod to Jaws, the 1975 Jaws. I have seen where people can 3D print the orca and a in-scale shark. I just want to add a little bit of something different to it. I've got a Loch Ness Monster, believe it or not, if I can find it right quick. See, I have a Loch Ness Monster, a Yeti, a Bigfoot, and a mummy. I like adding these weird little things in the layout to keep people constantly looking. Now, the Loch Ness Monster, I might put it over there. I don't know. But I think it would be cool to have the orca and the Jaws shark with 3 yellow barrels towing behind it like a scene. Just something different, something cool. This may end up having to go plexiglass all together, especially if I do that. This is just something I want to see if I can get this in. And because honestly, most of the time you're not going to be looking from the front, but it's a good chance when I do that, people will be. So if y'all know anybody that prints the orca, I seen one on eBay, but I'd like to buy one from an actual person or dealer, and a 3D shark and all the stuff with it. I think that'd be super cool to add to the scene. It is out there. I might purchase it anyway to see what that looks like and then show y'all. I just love this edge that has been created. And this is actual sand. Is everything to scale? No. I'm just trying to make it look nice. Look neat. Woo, that got close right there. But it didn't touch. That's all that matters. Alright, guys. That's update number 5. I've rambled long enough. Gave you a couple ideas on some things. I just play with stuff to figure out if it works or not. But once we start going back in with some more scenery and getting everything done, we'll bring you guys back in. This has been quite an experience tearing that out. I wish I would have done it from the get-go, but you know what? It is what it is. It was fun to update the layout and do something different. That being said, again, I've rambled too much. I hope everybody enjoys this video. Like, share, subscribe. And I hope you all have a good day.